video is sponsored by VideoBlocks. VideoBlocks is one of the largest stock video libraries on the web with over 2 million stock videos, After Effects, and motion backgrounds. With a VideoBlocks membership, you get access to over 2 million clips for 40% off compared to the competitive sites, plus over 100,000 clips included with your membership. This is because VideoBlocks takes zero commission on its sales, passing all savings towards the members. All memberships come with the 100% royalty-free agreement, so you can use the videos, After Effects, and motion backgrounds in your commercial projects. Even if you decide to cancel your membership, you are still protected and cannot be sued by copyright holders. Usually, VideoBlocks is $149 a year, but for this holiday season, VideoBlocks is offering an exclusive $50 discount to get access to their massive video library and royalty-free license. Go to videoblocks.com/holiday or click the link in the description down below to get your $50 off. iPhones are polarizing devices. Some people love them, some people hate them with a passion and judge you based upon if you use one or not. But regardless, in the US, they're one of the most popular devices. You see them in teens' hands, young adults' hands, and even elders' hands. But generally, the people that disapprove of them are tech heads or the people that watch my videos. I mean, you see it all the time. I show an iPhone in a video, and there's always comments like, "I thought you were different," or "Apple's a terrible company," or "You're so stupid to buy an iPhone." And I see what they're saying from a spec perspective. I mean, iPhones have pretty mediocre specs that are pretty similar to mid-range Android phones, that they cost almost double the price. So if you're one of those people that thinks that just iPhones aren't good for the money, then you're definitely not going to want an iPhone. But iPhones are more than just their specs. They're the ecosystem and the brand that you're buying into. So let's talk about exactly what you're buying and if the iPhone's worth it for you. So here's what you're getting. You're getting a very premium phone, both in the looks and just in the feel in the hand. It brings a cool metal touch just like previous years, and also just like previous years, the design looks pretty similar. Aside from the antenna band refinements and the 2 new color options, the design looks almost identical, especially from the front. So I kind of just glazed over it, but yeah, the new iPhone now comes in 2 different colors, black and jet black. Both look super sleek, but they both pack a major flaw. On the one hand, the black looks stealthy as hell with its matte black finish and blacked out buttons and sides, but it is super slippery to the point where I would actually recommend putting a clear case on it from day one. The jet black is the same conclusion with a different reason. It looks clean as hell, but within a few minutes, it will be covered in gross fingerprints and scratches due to its glossy finish. Aside from that though, the other main external feature is a new camera setup. The 7 Plus packs a dual camera system with 2 12-megapixel lenses. The difference comes in with the focal length and aperture. One lens is 28mm with a super wide f1.8 aperture, while the second lens trades in that wide aperture for a closer 56mm focal length and an f2.8 aperture. Both cameras produce absolutely stunning photos, but being able to get 2 times closer to a subject optically and 10 times digitally is absolutely amazing. The interface of doing so is also really intuitive. With a small button at the bottom, you can tap it to get it to 2 times zoom or slide it to get from 2 to 10 times zoom. Another feature these cameras are going to eventually pack is called portrait mode. Now right now it's in a beta, so it doesn't work perfectly by any means, and Apple definitely has to improve a lot of things, but it's a pretty cool feature, and basically what it lets you do is use the 2 lenses in combination to create a really blurry background so your subject stands out. My good friend Armando actually made an awesome video on this, so I'm not going to spend too much time on it, but if you want to find out more, I'll drop a link in the description to his video below, and you should definitely go check it out after watching this one. Really awesome stuff. Moving forward to another feature this time around is the home button, or the lack thereof. From the front, it looks like a regular home button, but I assure you, it is not. With the removal of the headphone jack, yeah, more on that later, I'm not just going to glaze over that, Apple was able to add a Haptic engine. Very similar to what you would find on a Force Touch trackpad on the new MacBook Pro 2016 model or the MacBook. The home button is a piece of glass that doesn't move at all, but instead gives you the sensation of moving due to its Haptic engine. This is definitely an unnecessary change, but I have to say, I really love it. On the first day of using it, it took some getting used to, but now I love the smoother click and even feel. Going back to an older iPhone's home button feels clunky and ancient. I know this sounds crazy because it's such a small change, but the home button is one of the main interactions with the phone, so this change is definitely an awesome one. My only gripe is the fact that I can't touch it with my fingernail or with gloves on because it's capacitive, but aside from that, Apple executed this decision really well, from giving 3 options of clicking feedback to actually playing a sound through the speaker to add one less convincing aspect that the user is actually clicking something. The addition of the engine also adds to other aspects of the phone experience, from the removal of the completely aggravating vibration sound, or the feedback and sound on screens like this, just really complete the experience. It's the small things. It is a clean new version of iOS which packs a new widget center to the left of the home screen and lock screen alongside new messaging features. I use messages as a main form of interaction, so some of these features are actually really cool in my opinion. The fireworks or sending drawings are really cool at first, but they get bland real quick. But what really gets me is the text animations like loud or slam, which subtly help to get a point across. I actually find myself using them all the time just for the novelty of it. Alongside the new texting features, 3D Touch is back with a few refinements that make it better and more functional, but the only real feature I actually find myself using is 3D Touch on the keyboard to move the cursor. Other than that though, iOS is iOS. There are no major changes aesthetically, applications still all need to be placed in a row, and you can add widgets to different pages. It's really what is to be expected of Apple at this point. Of course, it runs extremely smoothly on the latest phone, and hiccups and stutters were a rarity at most. The new i10 chip paired with 3GB of RAM makes gaming and multitasking a pleasure, but iOS 10 is still lacking a split screen mode. Another thing Apple is putting their foot down on is screen resolution. It is still a 1080p display, but honestly, aside from more pixel density, I have nothing to complain about here. Colors look great with a mix between vibrancy and accuracy, and although I would love a slightly denser PPI, I'd be lying if I said I could easily spot pixels. The screen is just really enjoyable to watch content on, and the decision to go 1080p over QHD has led to a pretty great battery life, with it lasting from 7 AM to 10 or 12 PM, with about 15 to 20% left on really heavy use. I can get as much as 6 hours of on-screen time on moderate to heavy use, which is definitely some of the best battery life stats on the market. All of this is with around 75 to 100% brightness and raised to wake on. Battery life is definitely a main advantage over the 4.7-inch model, which can barely last a day. When pre-ordering my iPhone this year, I was very conflicted if I should go with the 4.7-inch model or the 5.5-inch model. On one hand, the 4.7-inch model is very portable and pocketable, but it just trades in so many features that the 5.5-inch model has, like a full HD display, a great battery life and camera, and just many other smaller features that eventually led me to give up the portable form factor for a better overall phone experience. I was getting ready for a huge phone, but honestly, after just a few days of use, the Plus feels more manageable to me, and now just 1 month later, I find the 4.7-inch model way too small. So the final topic I want to discuss in this review is audio, as Apple has made some major changes in this department. They removed the headphone jack, forcing us into the dark future of adapters until Bluetooth and Lightning headphones becomes more popularized. When going into buying this phone, I thought the removal was going to be a pretty big deal, but honestly, there's only been a few issues so far, and they usually were pertaining to plugging into an aux in a car, but that really won't be an issue for you if your car supports Bluetooth. Realistically, you have 4 options since the jack has been removed, and Apple kindly has included 2 in the box. Option number 1 is using the Lightning headphones that Apple provided in the box, which is okay for most people that value convenience and price over sound quality. Option 2 is using the adapter, which is the route I would recommend going over option 1 if you have some really good headphones. What I would recommend doing is just attaching the dongle to your favorite pair of headphones so you never have to worry about forgetting it. Option 3, of course, would be buying Lightning headphones, but I would advise against this because then you'll need to carry around 2 pairs of headphones if you have another device like a computer that supports 3.5mm headphones. Option 4 is Bluetooth, and this is probably the route I would go for the convenience and options Bluetooth headphones offer. They can be paired to any device that supports Bluetooth connection, and they come in a multitude of styles and prices to fit everyone's need. So you're probably wondering why I haven't addressed charging and listening to music at the same time, as this is really a main issue with this phone, but I rarely found myself doing that, and when I did do it, I found a cheap $10 adapter on Amazon, which let me charge and listen to music at the same time without affecting audio quality. So if you want to check that out, I'll drop a link in the description down below. So the second audio change Apple made is a new speaker setup. We now technically have a stereo system. Similar to what HTC did with the 10, Apple has the earpiece doubling as a front-firing speaker to go alongside the bottom speaker to create more depth and volume in the audio. The system actually works really well with the clarity and volume we haven't seen on past iPhones. So that's the iPhone 7 Plus for you. It's not necessarily the most exciting phone on the market, but it definitely is a great one, and I would recommend it if you want a simple device that just gets stuff done. That's it for this one. If you want to check out my thoughts on the Google Pixel XL, you can click right here. If you want behind the scenes, follow me on Snapchat here and all my other social media in the description down below. Be sure to check out video blocks if you really want awesome graphics and stock footage. And I'll catch you guys on the next video. Thank you guys all so much for watching. Bye.